Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to you brothers on the highways and byways pushing this truth and sincerity. This is Yahudan, and just picking up where I left off on my short segment of like father, like son. But yeah, man, today is the 22nd of December, 12:56. I'm on my lunch break right now and still meditating about how the Spirit and the scriptures themselves, the Bible, deals with lineage through your bloodline, through your father. This is purely a bloodline thing. So when you see Christians or other denominations try and say that everybody is grafted into the covenant, that's not true. Just another example of that. This is the Old Testament, but I'm going to show you how the laws of the Old Testament are done away with. This is Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 1. It says, "Now on the 24th day of this month, the children of Israel were assembled with fasting and with sackcloths and earth upon them. And the seed of Israel separated themselves from all strangers." And see, in this circumstance, stranger meaning just like Gentile could mean. It could be a confusion of face, or it could be a stranger being someone not a part of the bloodlines of Israel, of the 12 tribes of Israel. So there's another instance in which Israelites separated themselves from the other nations. So like I said, man, my point in this lesson is to prove that there is no grafting in of all nations. The Old Testament made it clear, and then the New Testament reaffirmed it. Okay, you got to look in these words, though. So you'll read it, and you'll see a word, and you have to, in certain circumstances, look at that word and see what the roots of that word are, the etymology of the word. And stood and confessed their sins and iniquities of their fathers. Again, I'll read it again. It says, "And the seed of Israel separated themselves from all strangers, and stood and confessed their sins and the iniquities of their fathers." And that's what we're doing now in America. You have Israelites that are waking up to the fact that they are Israelites, whether they look like Israelites, being so-called Negroes, Latinos, or Native Americans, or they don't. They look like me, like they have Caucasian descent. Even though my father is African American and I do have strong traits for that, I still have leprosy, lack of melanin in my skin. I don't have melanin like the Israelites do, but I am an Israelite by blood. That's another point, man. Like, if you don't look like an Israelite just because you look like a different ethnicity, all that matters is the blood that you came from. And we've been mixing with all the other nations for a very long time. We're confessing the iniquities of our fathers. That's what we're doing in America right now. We're waking up and saying, hey, this is what we are guilty for. And the Old Testament, going away from the Old Testament laws, being unable, I should say, to perfect those and live righteous lifestyles. So we were thrown in captivity, man. Deuteronomy chapter 28, like I got in the first video. If you shall not follow these laws, then we're going to be subject to captivity. So that's what we're doing, man. We're accepting that we are Israelites by blood, that we're not another nation being grafted in, and we're confessing the iniquity of our forefathers, because we are paying for the iniquity of our fathers. Another thing on a side note is the scriptures deal with reincarnation, and that's a subject for a different lesson, but that's why it says confessing the iniquity of their fathers, because each line is responsible for their sins and transgressions towards the law, statutes, and commandments via their line, via their father and their father's father and their father before that, until you get into the whole lineage of an entire family line in a certain tribe. Let's see. Again, it says, "And they stood up in their place and read in the book of the law of Yahweh, their God." And see, that's the ownership word there, Their, their God. Not everyone's God. The Israelites' God, like father, like son, man. 1/4 part of the day and another 4th part they confessed and worshiped the Lord, their God. All right. Let's see. "Thou art the Lord, the God," verse 7, "Thou art the Lord, the God who didst choose Abraham, and broughtest him forth out of Ur of the Chaldees, and gavest him the name of Abraham. And through Abraham came Isaac, and then through Isaac, Jacob. and then from Jacob becoming Israel and being the 12 tribes. There's a clear line of blood and lineage, that our pedigree that comes from that. Is more proof that, you know, from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob to Israel being the 12 tribes as a whole, the scriptures, the Bible, is dealing with bloodlines. You know, it's a purely father-son thing. Now, a father can go and have a daughter, but a man's daughter cannot spread the seed of that line to who she lays with, or who she's dealing with. Only a man can do that. So an Israelite man planting a seed in any type of nation's woman, that's going to automatically produce an Israelite by blood. Now, the looks may be different, and that's the situation we're in America after all this mixing and the Israelites as a nation being spread amongst all the other nations, sleeping with other nations' women. Here we are in a situation where you have to be spiritual. You got to look at somebody's blood, and you got to look at their spirit and determine whether or not they're fitting the characteristics of an Israelite by the Bible. All right. I'm going to cut it there and then jump back into this when I get another chance. With that, I say, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Brakatah Shalom.